The first thing they'll normally ask is, tell me more about yourself.
It's a very simple question, but extremely difficult one to answer because you just don't know where to stop and you don't know what they want to hear.
We all had one question.
I got, what are my greatest weaknesses?
And every single person at the interview just went like, I'm too good, that's my weakness, or I'm just a perfectionist, that's my weakness. Try and be yourself.
Because they will always come up in interviews.
And I actually said, I find it hard to get up in the mornings really early, and that's true. And everyone had a laugh, but in the end, people remember that about you.
I've done a number of interviews throughout my career and while some of them have varied, there's definitely some consistent themes that you see throughout all of them. So there are a lot of very behavioural type interviews, so asking you your general kind of thoughts or feelings of how you've dealt with situations, so how you've handled a particular crisis or dealt with adversity throughout your life or your studies or whatever that may be.
Don't try and make things up in interviews. Talk from experience, because as soon as you bring something up that you actually don't know, the interview goes sideways.
Tell a story when you're asked a question. This enables you to structure your answers so that they don't go for too long, and if you practice some sort of generic ones, you can build up a response to a question with a story of an experience that you've had.
Answering a question is just like writing an essay. You need to have a structure.
People want to know about you, they're interested in what you're doing. They're not there to hound you or overly critique you, but just have a real conversation.
The questions would often start out quite broad, and I think the quicker that you could bring an experience into it and talk to various aspects, the less questions they need to ask you.
And a lot of the times it's really just knowing how to sit down and talk to people. People want to see, can you actually sit down and have a chat, and can I relate to this person? And are they going to be a good fit within our organisation?
If you're very unfamiliar with the environment, with the office and the sort of people that work there, why don't you come to that building a few days before your interview? Have a look, make sure that you know where it is so you don't get all stressed out on the day, and watch people coming in and out, see how they dress.
If you find that you walk into the room and you are still nervous, say so at the start of the interview, because they'll likely ask you how you're doing as first off. And it's fine to say, I'm really nervous about this interview because I really want this job. That's a great impression to make, and it will also calm you down that you're not trying to cover up, you're not trying to hide from them that you are nervous.
Another tip for preparing for interviews, I think, is really get some practice and get some experience. So whether it's with your parents or your friends or whoever it may be, but have them fire some questions at you.
It's worth doing your research about how to answer those questions because they will always come up in interviews.
Do a Google search and you get a list of top 10 and prepare those.
It's really too late to prepare for the interview once you've been told you've got an interview, because it's typically one day or 1 week later. You really need to start talking with alumni or people within that organisation or that field, researching on the web more about what they're after, and making sure you've got things to talk about that help you get that job.
So that when you're in the interview and you're on the spot, to pull out an example of when you worked on a project or did collaboration, then you can sort of think of, okay, I did this project in X class or X subject, or I did, I served customers in my job and that relates to this job, and things like that. You can quote examples a lot easier and a lot freer than you would if you were under pressure on the spot in an interview situation.
Have them, run you through a mock style interview and kind of see how you'd answer those. I don't think you don't want to go to the point where all your answers are so rehearsed and so scripted, because people are going to see that for what it is. But it's good to get a general idea of your thoughts on particular topics. So when you're faced with those questions, you have that ability to draw on that and go, aha, I know what I'm going to say here.
You never know what will make an interview bad or make an interview good. It's probably not the first interview that will get you the first job. It will probably be the 5th or the 6th or even the 20th, so be ready for lots of them.